Hey, what's good? What's going on, motherfuckers? Just got my shit yesterday. Got Morgue. I guess they sent it out early to all U.S. citizens. I believe I already saw it. Yeah, I don't believe. I know I already saw an unboxing video, and it was cool, kind of. You know, the dude like broke open the boxes and everything like that, but it wasn't in depth enough for me. You know, personally, because if I was buying the game and I already own the two games, I want to see like what these extra cards are, what a little bit more in depth, I suppose, as far as like like me personally, I want to know what the new weapon cards were going to be, and such, and like what tiles do you get, and blah blah blah. A couple things like surprised me is like you get a helicopter in this one, but you don't get a car, which is kind of odd. But you get some other objective tokens and stuff like that, and you know what? I'll show you some of the cool stuff that comes in the game, and little stupid side joke. The zombies in this game are called Skinner zombies. And I don't know if anybody watches my videos that happens to be a fan of The Simpsons, but I can already see it because it's already in my mind. Every time that we play now and we pull out a Skinner zombie card, at least me, I'm going to be going, Skinner! But anyways, like I said, I crack myself up. Let me break out some of the components and maybe show a little bit more detail, like just show the cards or whatever, and show some of the new stuff, because let's face it, who wants to see the same crap they got in the last two boxes, really? So yeah, let's do that right quick and fire this bad boy out, and Merry Christmas! Hey, especially all of us that got an early Christmas gift. Like I said, Rue Morgue, they shipped it out. I guess there was just an issue with U.S. shipping as far as they just didn't have enough storage space because their Kickstarter made like $3 million. So I guess they just didn't have the room in the continental U.S., so they shipped it out, and we got a little early Christmas gift. Anyways, yeah, back to the Skinners! Okay, firstly, I'm going to go over these cards right here. These are the teamwork cards. There are only 9 of them total, so I'm assuming that means that there's only 3 of each kind, 9 cards total, so what would that be? That stupid math. Alright, so 3 teams, I'm guessing, is the idea. You can have up to 3 teams, and each team would get one of these cards or not. I'm not exactly specific on how these cards are dealt. I'm still weeding my way through some of the new rules. I just got this yesterday, as I mentioned. I just wanted to show some of the newer stuff. And what these do pretty much is like it's a freebie per team. They can do an extra thing for free pretty much, like, shoot, 1 free ranged action, 1 free move action. And then they got this charge one that's pretty interesting. 1 free move action, which is optional, and 1 free melee action in the zone containing zombies or rival teammates. I think they made it optional because they wanted to give that option if you were overrun by zombies, you could still wipe them out before they wipe you out. And man, am I shaking like crazy here. I am sorry. I feel like an epileptic in a lettuce patch here, man. I'm giving you guys a little Caesar salad action here. Sorry I'm shaking so much. But yeah, that's enough for that, and some more shaky camera work to come. Okay, here's another new thing that they added. These tent cards. They are placed on the tent tiles. They have the room for them and such like that, and each of them are pretty much like miniature rooms in a sense that can be can't be searched. You see, we flip this one, and like if you see, most of them have beds inside of them of different colors, and the green and the blue. Those correspond now to different cards that actually spawn at bed locations. They spawn crawlers in them, which are the remnants of the skinless, zombies. But also, regular tent cards can't be searched, but you can also find other cards, and you're supposed to do this randomly. There's an administrative tent that can be searched, and also there is a medical infirmary tent that can also be searched. Me personally, I like to make my own missions, and I think I'm going to start doing that because I've got a lot of missions made up using their little mission map editor and everything like that. And you know what? I like to share, so I think I might just start a series of making a couple of my maps up and share them with you guys and see how well you can do in them. But that's the great thing about this game. They got these spaces made for these tents, blah 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 blah. But I think personally, they fit just about anywhere. It's about the size of a car, a little bit bigger, So I'm already thinking of, like, making a mission with, like, Tent Alley or something like that. A whole bunch of tents in the alley, or a couple streets of tents or something like that. And then maybe use some of the debris tokens on the buildings to show why that, they're using tents here. That everything's been destroyed or whatever. And, that's why we got Tent City outside. Because shit can get intense. All right. Bad pun. All right, so yeah, that's a little bit about the new thing as far as tents are concerned. On to the next. I haven't punched mine out yet, but wanted to show you a couple of the things that were new in this. The spawn numbers. Hey, that's awesome. They came out with those because you know what? If you watch my last video, I talked about them briefly, how I already make those, like out of paper or whatever, and just throw them out. These ones I will not be throwing out. And also, instead of just using them for spawns, I can see them for a myriad of different reasons why you can use them. Literally, like, you could use it for, like, an explanation for easy player, for players like that never played the game. Like, you got freaking 4 objectives that you have to do. So you go, all right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place them in the corresponding places on the board and such. To give them a reference point. It's like, oh yeah, we got to do this first, and then we got to go over here, then we got to go over here, because I don't know about y'all, but my friends and I, we have drinks and shit, we get together, we have some fun, so, I don't want to overbear a new player with, like, a whole bunch of, like, what am I supposed to be doing, type of fucking shit, besides, enjoying out and having a good time. So, I thought, hey, that could be helpful for that as well. As far as new, you get another blue door, so that brings up the total to 3 blue doors, which is cool because we don't have 3 of any one color type of door or token, because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there it is, bam, blue token. You also get a new color, which is always awesome, because all we had was white, purple, and orange or something like that. So there was 3 of them, so now we have a 4th extra Arrhenius color and respective objective token. So, awesome. And then these dealies up at the top, the green deals, they can be used for a lot of different shit, but their intention for the game itself is now, instead of just opening a door and spawning all the rooms inside that connect with zombies, now you go from tile to tile, and spawn zombies as you walk into the tile. So now you can have these big grandiose, like, long ass buildings, which they do have in their map section for missions. So yeah, it's pretty cool, but I see it for other things, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, like checkpoints and stuff like that. Like, you could use these on top of these, you know what I'm saying, and you're trying to find the number or something like that, a certain particular number or whatever, and then when you find that number or whatever, like, you put these on top to keep them secret, but then when you find out that, what's going on with it, you can flip it upside down and put a check on there to remind everyone that you've been there and searched, or whatever you're doing for your mission as it is. Alright, other than that, we got the chopper. Get to the chopper, get to the chopper. Pretty damn cool. This thing right here is a piece that is like a, I don't know, I guess like a pillar, or, I don't know, some sort of standing structure. You put it together, and it supports the chopper on top, so you can, fly over and, like, set yourself on top of it. And it's a cross section, which is awesome, because then you can just sort of, like, smush it into all the zombies that might be there and kind of get yourself a stable platform. So, yeah, that's it for tiles. I'll go on to the cards, and then we'll wrap this up, I'm thinking. Yeah, okay, doke. Oakley dokley, time for some new cards. Here we go. Like I was talking earlier about the beds and such. Here's both of them. I'll just bring them both out. You can see on the cards here, they got green bed and blue bed cards. Each blue bed on occupied tiles spawns a crawler. So pretty much this is essentially like a manhole type card, which they did also include. I just didn't break it out because been there, done that. We've seen it. But these ones are pretty much like the manhole cards, except that instead of spawning fresh zombies per se. They only spawn crawlers. You know what? I'm gonna look. That's a good question. I'm looking at the card right now, and I see all danger levels. It's only 1. Is that like that for all the cards? If so, that's seems like a waste. Yeah, it's all 1. So I don't know. Personally, I guess that's just kind of, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Why have the color brackets broken down? You got red, orange, yellow, and blue for the different danger levels, but they all spawn on 1 crawler anyways, so why couldn't you just make a card that just says spawn 1 crawler at the green bed or whatever? I guess I wanted to keep the theme or whatever, but personally I guess maybe the idea was like one bed, 1 person, I guess that kind of makes sense, but for them to do the detail like that, I whatever, I'm getting into semantics. It's a cool new option, but kind of odd. Yeah, considering like manhole covers and stuff, you get fatties that come out of it and runners and stuff. So okay, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a game. Go with it, right? But there's certain things that just kind of stick out in your mind like that. Seems kind of odd, right? All right, so only 1 crawler in a bed. When you think about it, a crawler is like, half a person. So you can fit 2 crawlers in 1 bed. Sure, why not, Maybe I'll even house roll that. If it's in a red, 2 crawlers. But then you get manhole covers, right? And you get fatties in the red that come out of a manhole cover. Shit, man. You're talking about a guy that weighs almost 300 pounds. I personally can't get in one of those fucking things. I don't know about you guys, but, like I said, I'm going on again about dumb shit. All right, moving on. So, in the deck, we get new cards, but it's specific with the skinners. So, every time you draw one of these now, if you shuffle up your decks together as far as your equipment decks, you can get a variance now between skinners and regular walkers. So, moving on. Bam. Alright, let's get into some of these new weapons. My first one I saw that I was like, ooh, tasty. A motherfucking, you have to kill every motherfucking zombie in the room, AK-47, except no substitutions. Alright, man. So we get, it's pretty much, reminds me of the assault rifle, if you have that, except they dumbed it down a little bit, but up the damage. It shoots less dice, but it does more damage, and it still has a good range, man. So I saw this weapon, I was like, man, that's pretty badass, man. I like it. Alright, this one also lends to an air of confusion. Bow, it's awesome. You can kill stuff now from a distance and actually be quiet. Freaking cool. But the little fine print, bow, +1 damage for each 6 on the range roll. So I'm assuming you get 1 die, 3 or higher, 1 damage. So if you roll a 6 on that 1 die, it does 2 damage. But they say for each 6. So I'm assuming that this is going to be an epic freaking weapon if you stack it correctly. If you get another way of rolling another die for like range combat or something like that, and you throw this bad boy out, and also they have the campaign cards that are in the mail still, like the check, it's in the mail, daddy. That's gonna add on another way of rolling more dice for the bow, so that has a lot of potential to be freaking sweet. All right, moving on. Double barrel. These guys like shotguns, man. That's for fucking real. All right, double barrel. 1 action to reload, free and end phase. I think they're pushing this now because I saw one of the abilities is called free reload or something like that along those lines, and it pretty much boils down to is like, how it's an action to reload your shotguns. I think they just get to do it for free. So those characters with sawed-off shotguns sounds like murder spree, and incarnate. 2 dice, 3 or higher, 1 damage. I guess double barrel is a little bit weaker because maybe it's like a pellet type shotgun. But I think they incorporated, that with the 0 to 2 range. So, I don't know, a sniper shotgun, I guess? I don't know. Cool. It's still cool. I mean, new is cool, always cool. Knife. We got a new knife here. It's pretty cool. If equipped, you get +1 die with other equipped melee weapon. So, I already see somebody equipped. If you have the zombie survivor dogs, man, holy smokes. I have 3 dogs, a knife in one hand, and a chainsaw in the other. I was doing some quick guesstimations in my head. You could be rolling like 10 to 11 dice or something like that if you have this character stacked with this knife and a chainsaw. So, again, very cool. Oh, and the knife itself is pretty neat in a sense because it's like if equipped, you gain 1 die with the other melee weapon, and it's dual wield. So this knife, when you have 2 of them, instead of doing 2 dice 4 or higher, that sucker turns into like what? Let's see, gain 1 die with the other equipped weapon in melee, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so yeah, you'd have 4 dice if I'm doing my math right. 4 dice at 4 or higher, 1 damage apiece. Not bad. I mean, considering. All right, another one, Mac 10. This one seems like you want to roll some dice, sucker, pick up these. And another one of those things is, they add the reload to it again, I guess to try to keep it in check as far as power or whatever. But you roll 5 dice, 5 or higher, it only does 1 damage. But you can freaking dual wield them, man. You're talking 10 dice, 5 or higher. Sure, it only does 1 damage, but who gives a crap, dude? Holy smokes. 10 dice. 10. Mac 10. As in, bitch, you're macking the shit out of this motherfucker with 10 fucking dice. Alright. MP5. Nothing special about this one, aside the fact that it's an MP5, which is pretty cool. I mean, we've had miniatures now come out like Angry Mary that had an MP5 in her hand, and I'm like, hey, it's kind of weird. Why do you got a gun that, you don't have in the game? But, 3 dice, 4 or higher, 1 damage. One of the weaker guns. I mean, in range of 0 and 1 is kind of cool. Shoot a motherfucker in the face and such, but I don't know. It only does 1 damage. I want to see a weapon, I think, personally, that does increasing damage for how many hits you land. If it's 3 dice and you get 4 or higher and you do 1 damage for an MP5, I don't know, man. I think, like, if you roll the die and you got more than 1 4 or higher, it does 2 damage or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe if you got all 3, it does 2 damage. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, but it's cool. I'll use it, but it just seems kind of weak. Alright. Saber. Pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of the katana. 2 dice, 4 or higher, but it does 2 damage instead of 1. And I think they did that because when they came out with the Wakasashi, they knew that they needed something that was handheld that did more than 1 damn damage, I guess. So, Saber. Sword. It's kind of the opposite direction. You got 3 dice, 4 or higher, and it only does 1. So, it's, I don't know, the answer to the katana being, 2 dice, 4 or higher, 1 damage. So I guess they figured they wanted something a little bit better, so they did 3 dice, 4, and it did 1 damage. Sure, why not? It's cool. I'm a D&D gamer, if you guys saw some of my stuff, so swords are always welcome. This one, I heard, was one of the designers just wanted to make something up, so he came out with this. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. It looks like a steering column that's ripped out of a car or some shit like that, because it has an 8-ball, like, gear shifter. I don't know. But it's called the Urban Mace. And it's 2 dice, 3 or higher, and it does 1 damage. It kind of reminds me of like the nail bat, but just a weaker version of it. You don't have to put it together. Alrighty then. We get these as well. Bulletproof vest. Put them on your card like this, and then you get hit. Boom. And then you take a second hit. Boop. You pull it off. These are pretty much used in games when you're not playing co-op, you're playing competitively. So, yeah. And then, bam. This one is pretty much like their quote-unquote pimp card weapon. It's not in the normal deck. They want you to throw it in for, use with other stuff. And it's, la guillotine, la guillotine. Part of my crappy French trying to be accent. Skinner zombies killed with this weapon cannot turn into crawlers. And it's pretty badass. 4 dice, 4 or higher, and it does 2 damage. And you can go through doors with it. So, not bad. Alrighty. I think that pretty much covers everything, besides maybe show a little detail on these. They actually give you dice this time around. And, if you backed it, you got some more dice coming too. And, I don't know. I never backed Season 1 or 2. So, I'm happy to finally get some cool dice. Let's show those off real quick. And, I think that'll do. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, yeah. How about you? The Abomination. Looking pretty cool there. Skinner! And as always, I always run over longer than I expect. Yeah. Have one last look at my unkempt face. Damn, I'm rugged. Anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little video, and everybody have a Merry Christmas. I think I'm going to start doing maybe some missions and set them up. There'll be a lot quicker videos. You know, maybe the little explanation of how I run the mission might take a little bit more time. But, you know, simply just show you the picture of the map and, you know, kind of go do a little breakdown of how you play it and everything like that. And, yeah, I think it would be cool. So, yeah. See you next year, probably, more than likely. I don't know. I might actually get into this today, maybe. Definitely, you know, I would be playing this tomorrow if I already didn't have my game day set up to play Civilization. But, yeah, I mean, all the other stuff, and you see my boxes and stuff like that are just waiting for this, and oh my god, I still haven't even finished painting the other stuff. Alright. Obviously, I'm wasting time right now recording this shit. I got work to do, so ta-ta, take care, and shit, guys. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks, as long as you have fun doing what you enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, right? I'm fucking 35, and I'm my only child. Catch my drift. Alright, kids, take care.